Or come on board with a policy as difficult as domestic debt exchange program, and of course, a foreign component of it intended to salvage our economy. Have you forgotten that at a point you were even relying on deductions from Momo to save this economy? We've never been anywhere close to such a record because we are not a party known for engineering economic growth figures. We present them as they are. And my brothers want to create an impression or create a comparison between 2013 to 2016 and that of their 8-year tenure as far as our economic fundamentals are concerned. Remember, Moro, that when they first assumed office in 2017 and we sought to engage them in a comparative analysis of our economic situation, they told us that it would be disingenuous on the part of the NDC to compare an 8-year record to their first term. Do you remember these excuses? And so an effective way of comparison, Richard, is to take the NDC's second term, that is 2012 to 2016, as against the NPP's second term of 2020 to 2024, and let us look at the growth figures. In 2013, our second term, our growth rate in terms of GDP was about 7%, in excess of 7%. In your second term, from 2020, Moro, to 2024, your 2021 growth rate was 0.51%.
Now you mean 2020? That's 2021.
2021.
No, 2021 was 5.1.
And my brothers want to belittle the issues of corruption.
No,
look, corruption is inextricably linked to economic development and arguably economic growth. And you simply do not seek to whitewash the NPP by saying that some few elements within the NPP. Absolutely not. It is your brand, even if it is a single person. And in this instance, we are not talking of a single person. Moro, look, we have National Service Secretariat. I am sure my brother is appalled and embarrassed by the contents of the investigations that are coming out. What their appointees were engaged in. Now, Buffer Stock Company has been exposed. Electricity Company of Ghana. In excess of over, what do you call it? I'm told that they even exceeded their budget in excess of about 181 billion Ghana cedis, or million Ghana cedis. Right? Or billion, I think it's around in billions. So that is your record with nothing to show. Rooted in corruption. So it is not just Buffer Stock alone we are dealing with, Moro. So this should give you an idea of the kind of looting that was being carried out under the cover of darkness under Nanado's presidency and that of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia as vice president. These were the people who promised in opposition to protect the public purse. So this is not light. It gives an indication of the character of the New Patriotic Party. So it is not enough to say some elements within the New Patriotic Party. Absolutely not. Look, as we speak today, your finance minister, Ken Oforiatta, a cousin to His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is still on the run.
It's not been charged
because of his questionable financial transactions.
Moro, it's not been charged with any crime.
Moro, the gentleman is even running away from accountability. No. It's a basic component of democratic governance. No, if you have served your republic and there are questions for you to answer, it is only proper Hamza, that you make yourself. Can I make my point?
Just help me. No, I'm not interrupting.
My brother, I'm not here to answer your questions. I'm not here to answer your questions.
No, but we are learning.
No, but I'm not here. After I'm done with my submission, you can ask your question.
Ken is unwell. He's unwell.
Oh, my brother. Are you going to allow him to do that?
No, come on.
Ken is unwell.
So you see, why are you so jittery with my submission? When you were talking, I was quiet.
No problem.
I had disagreements. Don't be jittery.
You are nice, so you give more time.
Don't be jittery. Moro.
You know, Andy can get extra time.
Oh my goodness. Richard, why are you doing this today? Why are you doing this?
No, I'm helping to get more time.
They say that
it's becoming too much.
So you see, it is not just an individual problem. It is a political party problem. We are talking about a party that even in government, a sitting cabinet minister opted to buy assets belonging to the state. And yet that minister was not fired by the president then. He still continued to sit in cabinet and today has the effrontery to even tell us that he's running to become president. This was the level of degeneration that we're subjected to as a country. And for many of us who still hold strongly to the foundational principles of the National Democratic Congress, rooted in probity and accountability, indeed, the crimes that have been unveiled under this regime, even Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, if it were to be in the 70s, 79 specifically, when we did the house cleaning exercise, I'm sure many of them would have faced the firing squad by now if we were to reverse what is happening, because they would have been viable candidates for execution. Our compatriots, our senior compatriots, died for less. More, when we talk about corruption, it borders on the health of the nation. Look at our compatriots. Look at the citizens of Ghana. Look at how they suffer on a daily basis in our hospitals. Because there are certain basic drugs that we cannot afford to even get our hospitals running. And yet still we have the likes of Hanan, alleged, and Edubuahin and Co. alleged to have siphoned such huge sums of money. This should annoy any person who is interested in the progress of this country. Ken Ofori-Atta, after serving this country for good 8 years, decided to abscond from accountability. And the NPP thinks that it is okay. And their defense is that he has not been charged.
He's seeking medical treatment in America.
And their defense is that he has not been charged.
He has not run away. He's seeking medical
We
treatment.
all know that even at the point that his condition was calling for him to resign as finance minister, this gentleman failed to resign.
That's also true.
That should be a
So what has changed?
That should be a feather in his cap.
No,
That
wait,
is
wait, wait.
committed
So
to service.
why would such a person, today
committed
that
to
he
service.
appears even healthy and hearty?
How do you know? They said the man is seeking help.
Oh,
They say
my
he's
brother,
very
the guy decided to run away from the country after President Mahama was sworn into office. Everybody knows as a matter of fact. He ran away from the country. When was he ever? When Richard, please, you will have your turn. When has he ever left this country for that long? Even when it was obvious, your own MPs called on him to resign, and we had reports that he was unwell, even as sitting finance minister, and your own members of parliament called for him to resign. Did he resign? Did he? But because we are not dealing with issues of accountability, all of a sudden, he's so unwell to the extent that he cannot even take a flight to Ghana for a day or two to answer questions. He's not been charged in line with the principle of accountability. So when it was about being in charge of our money, he was in good health, and he was willing to sacrifice his health conditions to be in charge of Ghana's money. But the time has come for accountability. All of a sudden, he cannot be found, and the likes of Richard,
No, because his health
who benefited nothing,
because his health has deteriorated.
who benefited nothing from his looting.
Hamza, because his health has deteriorated.
Oh, my brother, Moro, what you see, today you are being called to defend such looting. It is clearly unacceptable. Moro, the NPP is the greatest threat to our democratic and economic stability as a country.
Right.
And it is time we started dealing with it head on. And that is why many of us continue to argue that taking the NPP out of power in the last election is not enough. We must continue to bring sunshine, even on them, as they conduct their affairs in opposition. Okay. Because it is in the interest of every Ghanaian not to have these guys anywhere close to the presidency of this country. We cannot continue to be rolled back by the desires of the NPP to extort our limited resources.
Okay.
And we must show that revulsion.
Okay.
We must show that revulsion. I want us to see that revulsion. You see, unfortunately, that is one downturn of democratic governance. I have always argued that we should have had a system in place where even political parties beyond elections, the people would have a mechanism of continuing to evaluate, or the state, whether indeed certain political parties should still continue to function as political parties because of their records in government. And if we had such a system, I'm quite convinced that the Ghanaian people or that system would have vomited out the New Patriotic Party as far as our political discourse in this country is concerned. And it would have been illegal for them to participate as NPP in the politics of this country because they have taken this country for granted and they have committed heinous economic crimes.
So we're going to do this. We have just there.
Against the Republic.
We don't end or take us off anyway. So.
Obetime wa den chere aba e wo comment section honom. Na no first time e ma we visa obey hit subscribe button so. Ma kramo